What's up, sacred beings? What's up? What's up? Hope everyone is going to get comfy, right? Hope everyone is having an amazing freaking Wednesday. Just cleansing my space right now, cleansing my thoughts, cleansing this old energy that's allowing you to come in. New way of thinking, feeling, experiencing, connecting, intelligence. I'm just clearing the air to open up that inner space. And I encourage you, if you can, just take a moment. Right? Breathe in very deeply, filling your belly. Exhale when you're ready. When you inhale, again, you want to fill your belly. And when you exhale, you want to allow your belly button to touch your spine as you gently release the air. Not a rush breath. Nice deep breath. Take a deep breath again. Exhale. One more deep breath in your belly. Exhale. That allows for some calmness, some grounding, right? The ability to become aware. And breathing is always realigning for me. It always puts me back into my center space, right? Into my higher thinking, right? Into my higher thinking because it allows that fresh air to come in, fresh oxygen, right? You're clearing, old cells, old thinking, right? You're focusing on releasing as you exhale, and you're just letting it go. Whatever was not needed, you know, whatever was not necessary, you're releasing it. And if you connect a visualization with breathing, or actually visualize inhaling all of the joy, love, the gratitude, the abundance, and exhaling just anything that does not serve you, old habits, old ways of thinking, fear, anxiety. Right? Just release it. Just let it go. Give it to the universe. Give it to Mother Nature. Give it to that from which it has come and allow it to take care of it. Right? Let it go. And of course, when we talk about letting things go, it's not that simplistic, for me, because I've done some of my own internal work. But everybody's journey is different. So there's internal work that needs to happen when you're, learning to release things on a deeper level. But when it comes to those simple day-to-day stresses, those simple things that show up and, bring up those emotions, just let it go. Reflect on it later, or if you have time to reflect on it after your deep breath. Why did that come up? Right? Why was that there? So that healing and that's where the work is going to come in. And then you're going to become more and more self-aware, more and more self-regulated, right? It's a beautiful thing and it's free. Like the breath is free. So I don't even have to pay anybody to be balanced and, be like with self. So that's my spill on breathing for now. For now. Um, I'm really doing this video because one, I have to, be a woman of my word, and I have time to really sit and record. And I'm just so thankful and grateful for the opportunities that exist and that have been open to me to allow me to really realize my own gifts and my own powers and really starting to use that for the good of me and the good of everyone around me. You know, I had this epiphany the other day. Actually, it was yesterday, where I was looking at the word me, and I was looking at, skill building, like different skills, and looking at those executive functioning, like higher thinking skills, right? Because we label things, right? So on this very simplistic level, you're looking at, I was thinking about social thinking skills. And social thinking is this, idea of, empathy, knowing how you're being perceived, looking at how others are feeling, being able to identify feelings in others, you know, um, really being empathetic to other people's experiences, being able to take those perceptions, right? That's really empathy, is being able to also look at different perspectives, not just putting yourself in their shoes, but having the ability to look at their perspective and where they're coming from. And it's not even about trying to understand it, it's just about being there with it. You know what I'm saying? And I looked at, it was this picture, and it said, me, I think it was me, I, we, right? And it was the me and I faces were like, mirrored on top of each other. Me, I, and then it was an arrow going straight down to the we, showing the connection of, building social skills and perception and empathy. And when I looked at me, it made me think of we. And I said, well, me and we actually are very similar, right? It's just the M is now the W. And it made me think, well, actually, when you think about social skills, right, when you think about empathy and being able to perceive how others are feeling, how you're coming off, it starts with me. And the actual ability to be self aware, to understand how things have impacted you, and how then just looking at your own experiences, how many other things, the possibilities of things that could have impacted other people, right? It starts with that work within. And through doing the me work, it naturally begins to build the we. Because now you're looking at it from that higher thinking. You're not taking things personally. You're not the victim. You know what I'm saying? You're not the blamer. Like, you're above all of that, and you're seeing it for what it is. And you're continuing to do the work along the way. And in doing that, you're benefiting those around you. Because when you do that kind of work and that kind of healing, when you walk into spaces, people feel you. Right? People can feel that you're calm, right? You're gentle, right? You're mindful. You're not just saying anything. You're being very intentional in how you move. So me is we. When I take care of myself, that means in return I'm naturally taking care of you, because awareness of self, understanding of self, regulation of self, right? Understanding of emotions and feelings in self is a direct impact of the people around you. So it's it's me. Do the work with me, and then when I walk into a room, I naturally am going to impact people differently, because I'm self-aware and I know what's going on within me, and I'm not looking to outside of myself to blame, to do any of that. Always coming back to me, which only creates community and more building, because then I'm going to the we, right? The me, then the we. Those are two that are create this. There's a balance there, right? You can't say, oh, now that I've taken care of me, I can always be about everybody else. Everybody else, community, you know, how other people think and feel. No, it has to be a balance that I have to continue the self-care. I have to continue the internal work, right? Because life is an ever-evolving journey. And there's always layers of yourself that you have not revealed, right? We're not just physical beings. We're not just this human experience. We're so much beyond that. So there's layers of you to explore and learn about. So it's always a continued journey of self-regulation, self-awareness, right? And harmony within self and self-care. And that directly, again, it brings the we in. And there's a balance. So, that just got me thinking. And I didn't come on here to talk about, anything in particular. I came on here to, like I said, be consistent in my words, on my face, really get to sharing what topics we're going to be talking about, and some of the things that we're really going to be getting into with Naturally Sacred. this is one small piece of this really big need for healing, right? This really big need for healing and transformation, right? Holistic healing, right? And really understanding the why behind this is important. Really understanding the why we are doing this, right? Why heal, right? Why do the work? It's hard. It'd be better just to avoid it. Will it? Will it? Because in the process, who else is being impacted by that decision and that choice? Not just you. Unless you have hella self-regulation skills, which I highly doubt if you're not doing the work. Like, that's just the reality of it. So, we really have to start looking at, we can't avoid and we can't run from the darkness, or the pain, that lies within us. We have to face it. We have to be real with ourselves, right? And we can do that being authentic and kind to ourselves at the same time. So I'm not saying doing this work has to be you're being mean to yourself, no, but you're being hella honest and hella truthful. Truth is power, and I'm being truthful about where those emotions and feelings stem from, right? And not looking to look outside of yourself to blame or give anyone else that power. Take that power back, right? Do the work so that you now have power and control over your reality and how you live in it and how you show up in it and how people perceive you, right? And the opportunities you're open to. Because when you do that work, you're opening the opportunities to yourself, right? You're moving different. Your energy is different, right? And again, this is on a very a more simpler term, and I think that with me coming and having um, more of these topics, that I'm gonna come simplistic first, and then I'll take it to the next level, and then go, because I feel like things are better when it's just simplistic, right? I don't have to go into this deep understanding, or get you to understand how physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, that we're working up to that, right? We're working up to truly understanding, ourselves beyond this space and time, beyond the limitations that we have, right? This physical body, our senses, beyond those limitations, right? All right, the mind is a very powerful thing. The mind and the heart is a very powerful thing. And I like to say that those are portals where you can experience other places, other times. Limitations don't exist in those areas, right? But I'm not even gonna go there because now I'm taking this to another level. So stay focused, and I'm just flowing. I'm really just flowing. So getting you familiar with me. Like, these are my thoughts. Like, this is my mind. I'm a thinker. I'm a reflector, right? I'm a creator. I'm an innovator. I'm a lover, right? Um, and that's just me. Kind-hearted. I'm gentle. And I think one of the things that I'm really learning how to work on is speaking my truth, right? Being expressive and showing up in that space and not caring about what anyone else feels about it, right? Just being authentically who I am and knowing that in that I'm learning and I'm growing in that process, right? And that everybody's not going to vibe with my energy, and that's okay, right? I just was not meant for them. This lifetime, this just, time, this space, but I understand still I love that person. You know what I'm saying? And there's no shade in that. There's no, oh, you don't like my vibe, so I don't like you. What? Nah, bro. I don't even got time for those type of energies. Like, I love you. I don't gotta understand why you don't. Just know that it's always love. You know. So the power of healing again is just it's transformative. And we had to really, when we look at our lives, we look at our kids. If you have kids, I personally don't have kids, but I work with kids. I work with kids for the past 6 years. I work with at-risk kids, so I'm not just talking about, kids who don't deal with stress and trauma and adversity, you know. And through that, I know that our kids are being impacted, and they are in need of healing. there's generational things going on. We're talking about things that have been passed down to us, unknowingly, not intentionally, unknowingly, because that's the way our parents knew it, and that's the way their parents knew it, right? And no one really stepped in and changed their trajectory. And if they did, it was slightly. It wasn't enough to completely change how we thought and felt about things, right? And that's what healing does. It begins to change how you think and feel about things. Especially if you're being very intentional and honest with yourself about your pain, about your scars, right? Do you feel like you're not good enough? Do you feel like you're lacking in something? Do you not value yourself? Do you feel broken? Do you feel abandoned? Right? Do you feel sad? Do you feel left out? Do you feel weird? I love being weird. I'm gonna be weird for the rest of my life. Who wants to be regular? That's just my take though, right? I don't want to be regular smuggler. I don't want to follow the masses. I'm me. I'm an individual with my own thinking, my own way of being, my own way of expressing my own energy that I was born under, a different past life. I believe in past lives. I don't believe that this is our first life. To me, I don't believe this is our first experience. I believe we're ever expanding, ever growing, ever extending. So, you know, healing is again, it's transformation, right? And it's necessary. It's necessary so that we can really create a happier, healthier, balanced, right? Innovative, creative, free thinking, expressive community and world. Right? I don't think nobody wants to live the way we're living in these times. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. And if you are enjoying the times or think that all of this pain and trauma and hate and I'm trying to find the right words. I'm trying to be very intent and mindful in what I'm saying. Um, chaos. Just if, if for a moment you feel this disharmony is beneficial, right? I think to a point, sure, right? It's okay to fall. It's okay to go through things because you learn and you grow and you remember, right? And you reconnect and, you know, that's the beauty of it. But when it becomes chronic, which is every single day, all the time, when it becomes continual, when it becomes just a way of living and normalized, there's a problem in that. I don't want to head where these times are trying to take us. I don't want to just flow on the current. Hell no, I'm pushing back. I'm pushing back. We have to push back. And that starts with doing our own healing and our own work, right? And really having the ability to look at the multifaceted perceptions and ideas that exist in our reality that we call Earth, okay? That we call Mother Nature, right? We have to be open to those different ideas because that only expands and brings us closer to the truth and holistic way of life, right? I believe that you can get to a truth or an agreement by everybody adding pieces. Like every time a piece is added or someone brings a new idea or a new perception adding to what you've already put out there, your idea, your perception, it only builds on that unless they're looking to completely knock it down. And even you don't, nothing can be knocked down from you unless you allow it to. So no one has that power over you. You know, make that a mantra, right? I am unmovable. No one has that power over me. I cannot be knocked down because no one has that power over me, right? I am mindful, right? I am in control of my emotions. No one and nothing has control of me. Like really realizing your power. Like we were given so much power just as human beings. Just being these beautiful beings that are made in all of these facet, color, and shapes and forms that you know, we were gifted. We were given everything we needed. And I just was having this conversation with my big sis. Like, we're giving everything we needed to live and thrive and survive and experience, right? This 9 to 5 stuff is odd, and that's why a lot of generations like mine and what we call quote unquote millennials are being entrepreneurs, because they feel that 9 to 5 is just not aligning with us spiritually. That's what it boils down to. It's about your soul yearning. This shit don't feel right going to work every day 9 to 5, right? It don't feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and this is what the creator God, right, my God self, myself, put out there for me to experience. Right? It don't feel right. So you know what? I'm gonna use my gifts. I'm gonna use my creativity. I'm gonna use my innovation. Right? I'm gonna use my connection. The things that my ancestors have passed down to me in my DNA and my makeup. I'm gonna use that to create something that's gonna make me money, allow me freedom, and give me the opportunity to experience, to grow, to expand, to connect. Right? That's why. That's why millennials. You can call us whatever we want. I call that thinking with your soul, right? Being soul beings, and following that feeling, not going with the flow because that's what everybody says you should be doing, because that's what hard work looks like. Oh, okay, that's your opinion, that's your perception, and that's cool. I still love you, but mine's, I'm going the other way. You can come, you can ask questions, you can, stay still if you want to. The choice is yours, because I have no control over your soul, over your experience, or over your journey, or why you're here. That is why you send love, right? Because you have no control over that. But the control of your own healing, your own experiences, your own perception, your own ability to think, be, feel, that's your choice. And when you have the ability to know that, understand it, understand it, and see it for what it is, and then apply it, oh, watch out. Watch out. Because I'm in the business of really changing the trajectory of where the hell this current is trying to take these times. Nah. And I might can't do it for the masses, right? But you better be sure I'm gonna do it for my kids. I'm gonna do it for my family and those generations that are coming and that we are building now, right? My nieces, my nephews, my little cousins, right? We're gonna look at different ways of thinking and feeling about things. The importance of nutrition, the importance of movement and meditation and mindfulness, right? The importance of understanding that we are more than just these bodies, and our spiritual essence and our connection to our ancestors, right? And our creator itself, sources within us, right? It says it in the Bible. Right? It says it in the Bible. The Bible has a lot of gems. A lot of gems. You do not need to be a Christian to look to see the gems. And when you don't take it literal, you see beyond, like, damn. So I've been doing all of that, right? It's made in a likeness. Made in a likeness. So, when you're made in the likeness of God, what does that look like? What does that feel like? What is that, right? I don't know. It's greatness. It's knowing of self. It's connection. It's beyond this space. It's you have everything you need built within you. No one can control you. No one can tell you what your reality of the world will look like. I gave you the ability to think in your mind, to say words in your mind, right? I gave you the ability to have inner talk, inner dialogue. What is that talk? What is that conversation? That's my God self in my mind. That's what I see. That's my higher self communicating with me, right? And that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother time, because when we talk about higher self and that voice in our head that we hear, that internal voice, right? We say, oh, well, that voice is sometimes bad too. It sometimes tells us bad things. Yeah, but think about all of the noise that voice in your head is being given, right? We're talking about senses, right? What are you eating? What are you watching? What are you listening to, right? If every day you're watching shooting shows, or every day you're watching the news, or if every day you're scrolling through social media, or if every day you're having negative talk about self, or if every day you're listening to trap music that ain't talking about not a mother effing thing, I'm sorry, but it's not, right? What messages are you sending into my mind? Yeah, that's gonna change my inner dialogue because I'm receptive to that, right? But once I begin to realize the power of my mind and that I have control over this, that's a whole different ball game. And you know who has a beautiful book? Um, um, Napoleon Hill, Conversation with the Devil, right? Beautiful, well written book. And I think that it does an amazing job explaining the power of the mind and just how easily the mind can be manipulated, right? And how it takes work. It does take work for us to start to create new habits to think and feel about things, right? Rather than watching that TV show or listen to that trap music, I play a nice vibrational frequency, or I listen to a song that is really uplifting and positive, or I listen to classical music, which allows my brain activity to increase and allows me to relax and calm down because music is communication, music is frequency, right? Maybe I start getting into art, right? But I start learning all these other different ways that I can be experiencing self as well as outlets and ways of experiencing and releasing feelings and emotions. So, you know, that's just, I feel like I gave a lot of chunks of different things. If you haven't read that book, Napoleon Hill, Conversation with the Devil, please do. And I think that when we talk about the devil or we hear the term devil, we always think of what we've been taught to think. Again, I'm going against the grain. This naturally sacred, it's not a place where I'm flowing the current and I'm talking. No, I'm talking real. And I'm talking really as I've explored my own self and my own understanding and my own, perceptions on things that I was given when I was little, right? I start to question things, right? And being a questioner isn't bad because that means you're on a journey, you're on a quest of truth, right? I'm not just taking anything that's given to me and taking it as fact. I'm looking for the alignments. I'm observing. That scientific data, right? I'm asking questions. I'm going within. So I would definitely say check out that book, Conversations with the Devil, because again, the devil is not what we think it is. The devil is all of these things at play right now that are looking to use your energy, right? Use your mind, right? Use your essence of who you are. And that is why I don't pay attention to a lot of stuff. Because I don't have time for people to try to manipulate my energy, my way of thinking, and my way of being. Right? I already know what's out there at play. Right? Again, I'm looking to take people the other way. We talking about healing over here. You want to talk about news? Let's talk about success news. Let's talk about people who living their best life and doing the best and exploring and healing and transforming and extending and ascending and learning about self and their past generations, right? And working through some stuff and have come to the other side and are continuing the journey. Let's talk about the families who are in poverty and are now living great and happy, right? If we want to talk about those things that exist, such as poverty and killing and mental illness, right? Then we also need to talk about what are we going to start doing as solutions. Because we do a lot of talking, but now what are we going to start doing to start to apply these things within our schools, within our communities, right? Because we can't wait on these systems. We don't got time. That's too deep rooted in bullcrap. We know that. We don't have to wait either. Again, we don't have to flow with the current. We have the ability to go against it at any given time. We were given that right. We were given that choice. We were given that ability. And to really see bullshit and call it bullshit. But first you gotta remove all that other bullshit that you be doing like TV and I'm not saying those things are bad. Moderation, right? Create other ways of regulating self and learning about self and exploring self because self is beautiful. Self is beautiful. Um, so yeah, that's just a little bit about the power of healing, right? And some of the things that I'm hoping that, will make you think a little bit, right? Please, if you have questions, you want to hear more about something, or, you're just really interested in a topic, or, you want to know more about me, please email me. You can write comments on here. I'm going to post this. I'm thinking I'm going to post it on YouTube, and then I'll probably do a small video on Instagram. My Instagram is Naturally Sacred. Um, so yeah, and that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. So you can find a snippet there, because they're not gonna let me download this whole thing. It's been 30 minutes. um, they're not gonna let me download this whole thing. So I'll download like a snippet of it, and then I'll download the whole thing to YouTube. And again, my email's on my Instagram, Naturally Sacred, or you can just write in the comments. Whatever works, it doesn't matter. Or you can send me a message, a direct message, through my Instagram. Again, if you have questions, or you want to know more about anything, or you want me to explore any topics that I brought up, because I know I was a little bit everywhere. I talked about emotions. I talked about the higher self. I talked about healing. I talked about the spiritual self and transformation. I talked about a little bit about um, my look at when I think about religion and unlearning and reteaching myself. So I know I hit a lot of different things, but again, this was kind of just all of a sudden, like, let me do this because I said I was going to start showing up more, and let me stop being afraid to do it. Let me stop walking in fear and anxiety and worry about what other people think and feel about how I express who I am and how I show up to share that with others in the process, and just do it. Just go for it. Only thing that can come from this is growth, right? That's it. So next time I will be more organized, though. I think I have a series that um, I wrote out, and I was really going to do it on podcast, but I'm really thinking, do I want to just do a YouTube series, a YouTube season on here, where I was really going to get into really holistic healing and talk about a multitude of different things every episode, or do I want to do a podcast? So, because me and my sister talked about this. Me and my sister have, my big sister, we just have really deep conversations, and I'm grateful for her. Relationships are important. People around you that can really, be open-minded and really exchange dialogue and information and connections and just ways of thinking and feeling about things is very important um, in your journey, just in life in general, and as a sacred, divine being. Right? As that being who is connected beyond these limitations and beyond um, this reality and realm that we are in. But it doesn't mean that while we're here, we don't take care of physical self, and we don't make sure we do what we need to do to be healthy um, within the body and within the mind. Um, right, that's still important, and that actually is really important because it helps you connect more clearly with your soul and with your higher self. So, okay, see, I can go talk about this forever. So I'm going to stop. 33:33. I thought it was just up there. I'm going to stop. And I'm just going to say thank you. I'm just going to say thank you, guys. Um, and I'm excited that I just did this and showed up. I don't know what the hell I'm going to name it. Um, maybe conversations. Um, maybe flows. Flows in conversations, or just my thoughts, you know. So I don't know, but y'all see it. I did want to do a pull. I wanted to do a card pull. I just was reminded of that. So I'm going to do that before we end. And I'm not getting into why a card pull. If you want to hear a little bit about it, go watch my very first video, which is the one before this one. And you can learn a little bit about how I feel about cards and the tool and divinity tool. I did not bring. Oh, I guess it's not meant to be, guys. Oh, I can use this one. I have a bigger cloth. I need a new bag. I ripped it. So I really want to. I have some ideas. I have some major ideas coming. I'm so excited because it's just go time. It's go time, and I feel it. I feel it in me, and I had an epiphany today. I'm not gonna share that either. Maybe I'll do a video on it tomorrow. But I had an epiphany today, and it was really what sparked me to really just do this, you know. It really was. So I think I'm going to pull just an oracle, which is really an overall reading of just, I'm just going to ask for a message. Really just a message. I have my cloth down here. Um, just a message. And I'm going to do one numerology card. And that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother time. If you do not know what numerology is, just look it up. Look it up. It's really the communication of numbers. And that numbers are communicating in our messages to us, kind of like guides. I find, you know, we were gifted with, I'm just going to clear these cards, with many guides. And they don't just come in the form of people. So just something to think about. We were given everything we need. You know, sometimes we have to look, have the ability to look and see when it's getting, when what we need, when what we need are being given to us. Right? I have to have the vision to see that. I don't want to make this too much longer, so it's gonna clear this. But I'm excited. Not now, later, that I had the opportunity to really come on here and share my thoughts. Maybe that's what I call it, sharing my thoughts. Thoughts and sage. Alright. So I'm just asking for really an ending message for the collective, for those that will be watching this, for those that need this message. I just ask for a message, and I'm just clearing away this old energy. So from old readings, you know, old feelings, really just want clarity and understanding of like what can they walk away with overall? What can they walk away with, you know, at the end of this message that I have given? What can they, and I as well, can the collective, what can we walk away with? Right, so we're cleansing that. Please give us a message of clarity. Only messages of clarity and truth, and only for our highest vibration. Right? That is all that we seek. That is all that we will receive. I speak it. It is so. It is so. It's cleansing this. So what is needed? What is needed? I'm going to do 3 cards. 3 is my number. If more comes out, that's fine. 3 shows it's facing me a lot. So yeah, 3 is really about communication, creativity, really knowing your gifts and sharing them, expressing yourself. So again, what is the message that is needed? Really just looking for overall message to really end this time and, you know, really close us out. What is the message for the collective that can be needed? You know, what can be used? I don't want control of the cards. You know, please bring it clarity. Please bring truth. Right? I don't know. I don't know. Please bring clarity. Sometimes I like to wait for the cards to really just express themselves to me. You know. So yes, what is needed? What messages are needed? Right? We're asking for 3 cards if possible. We're asking for 3 cards if possible. Right? We're asking for 3 cards if possible. What is needed? What is needed? Alright. What is needed? Oh, alright. Alright. What I'm gonna actually do is just no. I got the feeling to keep shuffling. It's gonna shuffle differently, change up my shuffling, but I'm not. Alright, just give me 2 more cards. 2 more cards. What is needed? What is needed? What is needed? Sometimes it takes patience. I could just pull. Again, I just want them to jump out at me. What is needed? Alright, what is needed? What is needed? Okay. Do 1 more, and then we're gonna look at what's at the bottom of the deck. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's interesting. Apologize. All right. So it's funny we're talking about healing because the bottom of the deck, we have apologize, right? And what I'm getting here is apologize to self. Apologize to, you know, anyone that you may feel like you've done harm to or you've done wrong out of your own lack of healing or lack of feeling you're not enough or lack of needing something, right? It's time to start filling your own cup. It's time to be gentle to self, surrender to self, apologize. It's okay. It's okay, you know? It's all going to be good. Like, it's all going to be good. Look through the situation. So like as we're ending this, and we're talking about healing, look through situations. Have the ability to look beyond what is being given to you. Because there's usually something more going on that we miss because we're so focused on the light and what we can see. Look at what's the unseen. Look at what's through that, what's underneath that. And you'll start to be, and really what I'm picking up, this is about, internal. So this is, I'm really getting these messages that this is about really internal self. Looking through situations when they show up in you and looking beyond them so you can begin to heal. So you can begin to truly do some powerful work so that you can be lighter and you can be brighter, right? And you can be better. So really look through situations, look beyond them, right? And she's doing it so gracefully, right? She's doing it peacefully. But seeing beyond them so you see them for what they are so that healing can begin, right? By picking up and letting go of what no longer serves you, right? Be compassionate, right? There's a theme here. Be compassionate. Love yourself, love others, right? Show empathy, show care, show love, show kindness everywhere you go, and show it to yourself most importantly. Because like I said earlier, me is we. Me is we. So if I'm doing it for self, if I'm taking care of self, if I'm being compassionate to self, I will naturally be able to share in that compassion with others. Much like we talk about, if you love yourself, then that's the key, because then you already love others when you love yourself, right? It's the same thing, right? Showing to self is the journey to others. It naturally ends you up there, right? But it does begin with self first. It has to start with you. Right? So just being compassionate to yourself, to others, kindness, love, and stay. Stay. And really what I'm getting from the stay card, stick with it. Stick with this healing. Stick with me. But really, stick with going through the healing and the journey of transformation. Stay through it, right? Stay through it. And push through. Because the other side is going to be so beautiful and it's so worth it. So don't run. Don't get afraid, right? Look through the situation. Be compassionate to self. Be compassionate and kind and empathetic to others and to self, right? Stay with the journey. Keep giving to yourself. Keep learning. Keep growing. Keep healing, right? And apologize for anything you may feel you need to apologize for. So the apologizing is like the root, and then it just begins the looking through the situation, right? Because now I'm starting to really forgive myself for some stuff. Now I can see things for what they really are, right? Being compassionate to myself. Because now, again, I forgive myself, so I can give that to myself. Therefore, I can give that to others. And staying, right? Having the ability to stick with it. Even though I know in the staying, there's going to be constant change and constant transformation. That is where the learning takes place. That is where the growth happens. So stick it through and stay. And I'm going to ask for one more message. One more. Just to knock us off our feet and get us going. And I just want to say thank you. Again, this is a message for the collective. Just one. Give me one of numerology number. What can we do? Right? Takeaway, the healing, the things that we talked about. Message, beautiful message aligning. Beautiful message aligning, right? Beautiful. I'm watching you shuffle the deck, and it's funny. Like, why am I not watching you here? So odd, okay. I'm like, this feels odd. So again, one more card, just of clarity and overall ending to the message. Overall ending to the message. Just need it. Just give me one more card, please. One more card. Shoot it out at me. There we go. Alright, ready? Drum roll. Ooh. Intuition. Listen to thyself. You know best. You know what you need. You know when that voice shows up in you that says, don't do that. Alright, that don't make sense. Call somebody. right? Call this person, go see this person, stop running from this job offering, stop running from this opportunity, open your business, right? Do some work, heal yourself, talk to your dad, right? All of whatever those intuitive messages that we get, start listening and following those. Notice the number here is 22. 2. 2 is the building block. 2 is the building block, right? So your intuition is giving you something so you can build on something else. It's giving you a message, a download. Not to just stop there, to continue to explore and follow through with what you feel you know you need to do, say, be, right? Whatever that is, honor that. Honor that throughout your journey. Honor that throughout your journey. Tuition, man, it's powerful. I'm telling you, it's our spidey senses. It's our spidey senses. If you want a relationship and you know something right, get out. You know, if you're unhappy and you feel like you could do something like move to change it, right? Our intuition shows up and it really doesn't let us down. And I've had a couple of times where my intuition has told me to do things, or my cat was, pregnant. And I'm gonna end this thing. My cat was pregnant, and intuitively, actually knew that she was having kids. And I did a reading that told me that, and it popped up that, and I was just asking for what would the week hold, and it popped up parenting. And I work with kids. I wear a few different hats. So I was thinking parenting, and she had kids that week. So it's kind of like that message, and then I already was intuitively feeling like she was going to pop. So it's like really honoring those. Again, these are just tools. And sometimes these things, apologize, look through the situation, compassion, stay, right? Intuition. It may pop 2 weeks later. You're going to be like, yo, that reading did, or I did. Because it's not going to happen right away when we leave here. This is just manifested. No. But it's really an overview of like, listen, this is what it's looking like. This is what, what is going on. This is what you need to pay attention to. This is what you need to be mindful of. It's a level of communication. It's simply a divine tool. Another thing that we were given to connect, because like I said, we have guides all around us. And at the bottom of the deck, it's abundance. So let's get it. Let's do this healing. Let's follow this intuitiveness. Let's go against the grain, like my boy Toby say. I love Toby. He's a dope artist. If you want to listen to somebody with some good music, listen to him, because his messages is messages. You could look through them and be like, oh, okay, Toby, bars. But yeah, against the grain, right? We're going against the grain. And through that, the only thing we could go is up. Abundance, 8, affinity, as above, so below, right? Only thing we could do is get more connected, more growth, more prosperity, more abundance when we do the work and we heal ourselves. And again, when we gain that, everybody gains that. Because starting with me becomes we. Me is we is me. So I love y'all. Thank y'all for spending 49 minutes sitting here. If you watch this whole entire thing, it's been chill. It's been cool. I'm happy we could kick it and talk. And again, if you have anything you want to hear more about, anything you want to expound upon, let me go, DM me, message me, and let me know what you think. Podcast or YouTube? Podcast season or YouTube season? It might turn into a series, but just another way of getting what Naturally Sacred is out there. And this is one branch, one arm of Naturally Sacred. So I wanted to come on here. It's just my thoughts and sharing with y'all. So I love y'all. Peace, and enjoy the rest of your day. Get out, get some sun, put your feet on the grass, take some deep breaths, do something different, try something different, eat a banana, eat an orange, drink some water, right? Live that best life. Love y'all. Peace.